live from Oahu, Hawaii. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading forward with your humble host, Andy Barbosa and Jeremy Alexander with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What's going on, beautiful, luxuriously, wonderfully, fantastically, stupendous people from around the world? How are you all doing on this mysteriously spooky day, Friday the 13th? Hope you're all doing well. Probably could have picked a better day to fly, Friday the 13th. I'm sure it'll all be fine. It'll all be good. Planes are more dangerous on the ground than they are in the air. They're built for the air. Brandon Mayfield says, excellence. Jill says, we survived it over here. Wonderful. Good to know. Good to know. Pleasure to have you here, Jill. Any big weekend plans, ladies and gentlemen? What are you beautiful people getting into? Brad, what you doing, man? Deb, how's it going, Deb? Where are you in the world right now, Deb? You back in the States, in Germany? Miss Françoise, how are you? How's Brumont? Hope everything's going well. Hope the sushi takeout is crushing it. Helen, how's it going? Jen, Mr. John Wheeler, my brother. Richard Farr, Thomas, what's going on? Mark McCauley, Ron Buckley, Andrew's in the building. Amy Blood, what's up, Amy? How'd you do today, Aimster? It's a terrible nickname. Sorry, it's dumb. Aimster. That's so bro-ish. Debs is back in the States, currently in Washington. Okay, right on. Jesse says going to a beer festival. That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. Ron says you need to open a West real-life trading office. Hawaii would be a good choice. You're right. It would. It would be a good choice. I'm not going to rule it out, man. That's for sure. But those 3 a.m. mornings, dude, they're rough. Brandon's going to study all weekend. I like it. Miss Françoise is doing fine. I love it. Amy says, worst day ever for me at work. Apparently a good day for me in the market. Well, I'm sorry to hear that was a bad day at work, but we all know trading is better than work anyway. So I'm proud of it. Mark said, I'm spoiling some granddaughters. You should. Yes, you should. Well, my friends, today is Finance Friday. This is the last day of Enrichment Week. There will not be another one of these until June 2017. And I don't even know what week is going to be in June yet. That's really up to my boss, whatever the boss says. So sometime in June 2017, that's when we'll make another Enrichment Week. But until now and then, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Hope you were able to spread the news, spread the enjoyment, the excitement, the happiness, and hope you guys absolutely crushed some trades. Today was a solid day. So again, remember, I told you guys yesterday, rough day, didn't like it, felt weird, losing day for sure. Today, up nicely. Pretty excited about it. Made a comeback and then some. So let's talk about that, and let's talk about the future with these markets in the financial sector. So the SPY today, I think I finally made a decision. Here's going to be Brandon Mayfield. Have any good ideas for a wager for me? I don't think the SPY makes an all-time high. The SPY makes an all-time high in this month. 113.16. I do not think SPY makes a new all-time high this month. What's the wager? Rainbow hair. I already got rainbow hair possibly on deck in March. So that one's already a possibility. What else do we got out there? Anything else going on? Edna said something non-food related last time. So trying to think. What would be a good one? John says, you don't have hair. Not much right now, but I will buy. That's an exceptional one. That's an exceptional one, Brandon. I've never gotten a spray tan before, and that's hilarious. Spray tan it is. I don't know if you can actually spray tan your half of your body. Can you? I don't know if that's the thing. Brandon says, yeah, just don't turn around. No way. Is it really that? What about Okay, would you rather do a half of my body spray painted, full body spray painted, or half of a beard? Like one beard, one half of my face shaven, the other half not shaven. Which one of those three would you guys rather have? Both are great. Half beard, says Lad. I like the half idea. All right, let's go with the beard. Let's do the beard. Half beard wager. I don't know, for a week or something. Half beard for a week, sure. Until it just grows back, whatever. Including the half mustache. Yes, of course. Duh. Sam says, I want payback for my lost hair. Man, have you seen my head, bro? I don't have much hair, Sham. I'm in the same boat with you right now, man. All right, so that's my wager right now on the SPY. What does that mean from like a money-making standpoint? Well, I think we're in a pennant pattern, and I do like today's bullish candle. So the high is right here is the SPY. The all-time high is 228.34. So if you break above there, half of a beard for a month, for a week, for sure. I got a put sale 212.50 expiring January 27th. Dean's got one for 222 for February week 1. I think we're going to go bullish to neutral. We've had a very, very strong bullish run up, very strong, and here it was. So I think this is a resting pattern. I think we're just going to continue to rest, and then we'll go higher, maybe late February, early March, potentially. That's just my guess. I could be mistaken about that. I'm not going to do a bear call spread, in case you're wondering. I'm preferring to do a bull put spread, but I'm going to wait for something like this to occur. Now, the interesting thing is today, there were some traders, and I talked about this yesterday, there were some traders still in the weekly options newsletter trade from SPY. How? Not sure. But there were some traders who were still in. Most of them who are still in just had a different stop than I did. So remember, keep in mind that when I place the weekly options newsletter trade, that's just giving you guys my idea, my time frame, and my direction. You can use that to your advantage for other trades if you want. You can use it for spreads or another setup or a different stop or a different entry. I have one guy, his name is Mark, who was in LA. He literally emailed me and said, hey, man, every trade that you place, I'm just trying to buy it for 20% cheaper than you do. That's his goal. So he just tries to simply just buy it 20%. So again, just keep in mind, see you, man. Take care. Fly safe, dude. Just keep in mind that, the trade is there. That's my plan. You're welcome to create your own. But there are some traders who are still in, ironically enough. And some traders were able to exit today for a small gain. So anyway, that's the SPY. Here's the Dow Jones, flat as a pancake on a hot Alaskan day. So that's the Dow Jones. Here's the IWM. IWM, a little bit of a bullish candle. I was wanting to go bearish yesterday if we closed below 134.61, but we didn't. Here's your exponential moving averages on the IWM. And again, you can see something like this, boom and boom, right? So I think we probably do something like this on the IWM. That's just my guess, of course. Not entirely sure, but it makes a lot of sense. Now, the financials, we got a lot of financial things that happened today, mostly news related from earnings. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan, I think. Anyway, a few others made some gaps today. So XLF, this is the ETF for the financial sector. So you'll notice it did have a black candle and it did gap up today. So on an hourly chart and a daily chart, this is a pretty bullish gap. It's a pretty bullish gap, and it makes sense that it retested, right? A lot of white candles, gapped up, traded to a resistance, pulled back, retested, and can easily bounce from here. I'm looking at the daily chart, and I kind of feel like this is too easy. Would you guys agree? Usually when the stock market makes it just so simply easy and everyone can take that trade, it doesn't work. So this is like perfect, nice little pennant pattern. So you got a little bit of an upper shadow today. So I don't think it's going to be as easy as it just trades higher and continues. Mark calls it a sucker setup. So I'm looking for something like a breakout, probably a pullback, and then a dip buying opportunity. It's not going to, I can put it to you this way, it's not going to play out perfectly. It's not going to be just like this easy breakout, all right, let's get in. I don't think that's going to be the case. Now, I could be mistaken about that, but The low of today's candle is very important on the XLF. Make sure you put that in your notes. The reason the low of today's candle is important is because it is a bullish gap and go. So anytime a bullish gap and go does not go, and the gap starts to fill, it's usually a pretty high probability that that trade will continue to have bearish sentiment. So something to keep in mind on XLF. So here's the 3X ETF FAS, and FAS did not make an all-time high today and still a nice little doji. So if we're looking at some of the other financials, let me get these pulled up. Where are they? Here they are. All right, so some of the other financials, let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's get it. Here's Wells Fargo, ticker symbol WFC. Now, Wells Fargo, out of the financials, did look the strongest as far as the gap is concerned. Nice looking gap, bullish gap and go, above the moving averages. So we got into a bull put spread. Stands in a covered call expiring January 27th. I don't know why it's way the heck over here. He's in a covered call expiring January 27th, I believe, at $50. And we got into a 52.50 bull put spread expiring in February. For some traders got in, Stephen King said he got filled for 35 cents. So I'm not going to worry about the spread unless Wells Fargo closes below the 50 exponential. So here's how it looks on the weekly chart. Now keep in mind today's candle, this is the week is closed. So we pulled right down to the 10, beautiful pennant pattern. We're not going to have anything to worry about unless it really breaks that low. And if it breaks that low, then sure, we can always unravel or just buy some protective puts. But if the market's likely going to just kind of trade sideways and chop around, CNBC was counting down all day, the inauguration to Trump. So I think a lot of people are thinking something's going to happen. I think everyone thinks that the market's going to sell off when Trump gets elected. So since everyone thinks that, I think that's exactly what's not going to happen. I mean, really everyone. Pretty much anyone you talk to, they're like, oh, yeah, the market's going to sell off when Trump gets elected. So maybe the market just trades sideways. And then they're like, okay, remember like I said earlier, okay, it's not that bad. Looks like everything's going to be fine. And then maybe the market goes higher, makes a new all-time high, which I really think is going to be the case. Everyone then hops on. Then we get the pullback, the 5 to 6%. And then that's where I'm going to really get in heavy on some longs, if that ever happens. Brandon says, can anything be expected in regards to the Lockheed meeting with Trump? I don't know what's going to happen, but something will happen. And you'll get some kind of news at some point for sure. Yeah. Yep. We can definitely expect something. So we're going to be keeping our eyes on Lockheed for certain. So anyway, on Wells Fargo, I like the bull put spread, bullish to non-directional, 52.50. It's pretty far away, 3 points from today's close. You're below, you got at least 7, 8 check marks without doing a lot of research on Wells Fargo. So anyway, that's it. Here's Bank of America. So Bank of America also, this is the one that my girl Francoise, right? She crushed this trade. Destroyed it up in near Montreal in a nice little skiing village. I gotta give you a shout out. She just wrecked this in so many ways. It was just unfair. We're talking like 500, 600, 700% returns on some of the options that she bought. She bought a lot of the out of the money cheaper calls and just wrecked it. So high five. So Bank of America, you'll notice the high of today. This is interesting. Is 23.41. Let me turn off my ideas. 23.41. The high of this candle right here, 23.39. So we made a new high by 2 pennies. So you got a resistance. I think we got a support. I'm not saying this is going to double top, but I do think it trades bearish to sideways a little bit because, again, folks, there's no way you can sustain a bullish trade like this without getting a rest. It just doesn't happen. So this is the rest that's occurring. And it's going to be hard to be patient, but that's what we must do, right? In trading, we just got to be patient as possible, right, Dylan? Would you agree? Irwin's in the building. Uh-oh. Is that Dr. Irwin? Can't be. Can't be Dr. Irwin. Money is not coming out of my computer. That's usually what happens when Dr. Irwin shows up. $100 bills just start flying out of my CD drive. Will said, should we get out of our positions before the inauguration? It depends on what position you're in, Will. You're welcome to send me what you think. But as I mentioned just minutes ago, I don't personally think the market's going to go down in the inauguration. I think that's what everyone thinks it's going to do. So that's likely what not happens. Erwin says, no, not that Erwin. Okay, just checking. No worries. Pleasure to have you here regardless, Erwin. And Kevin Hart. Thanks for being here, Kevin. All right, cool. So that's Bank of America. That's what I have. Here's American Express. American Express. Ticker symbol AXP, and we did hit a target of 76.92. So let me show you where this target came from. Oh, shoot. I pressed the wrong button. The trackpad's so sensitive. Here's American Express. Mark says, don't know why they think the market's going to drop since markets have rocketed since the 8th of November. I mean, there's just a lot of uncertainty, but I'm not entirely sure either. So here's my previous wave count on American Express. I guess I didn't post that target, but this was about 9 months ago on AXP. So some of you might remember the financial article. There was a trader actually talking about that earlier today. But if we can press play, we'll see that we definitely got that wave rotation down, not quite as far. But here's really what it was. Here's the A wave, here's the B wave, and then here's some kind of C wave right there. So it's kind of like a bigger picture wave. But either way, down at that price, the takeaway was we were bullish down at that level. Let me see if I can find that article. By the way, if you ever go to articles, there is a search bar. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Here is the article that I think you guys would enjoy reading, posted back in April of 2016. If you ever want to get a chance, I'll just post that in the link. It's called Accumulate These Banking Stocks in 2016. So in 2016, I called the bottom on oil and also financials. Not to brag. I'm going to brag a little bit. It was a pretty good call. So I had a trader in there talking about that earlier today. So American Express, one of those stocks back in that level. Now, I don't have any position in American Express at all. It's very blue chip, longer term type of trade. There are a few traders who have some shares. It did break out of this very, very nicely. But April 2016 was right here back when we were at $60. So since then, we've increased about 16 points or over 20% on AXP, trading to a target. So now on a weekly chart, really what you're waiting for on American Express is any kind of pullback. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a beautiful breakout. Very hard to be bearish. I mean, any kind of dip on AXP is going to be money. So let's go ahead and draw that. Where's the next place we're going? Give me a quick second. Let me turn off the moving averages here for a second. We're going to pause here. I think we go back up to the high. $82 is like, I think that's almost too easy of a target, but that's really going to be my target. All right, let me draw a wave in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. $2017 target. That is 85.31. AXP 2017 target. Gorgeous breakout of AXP. You'll notice the multi-bottom pattern and breakout. Today in the afternoon room is Finance Friday. We mentioned this article and article about bank stocks, and since then AXP is up over 20%. From here, look to buy the dip. Okay, American Express. Okay, that's what I got. All right, that's it. That's my thoughts. I'll publish that idea. Any questions on that one? See what you guys are saying. Looks like 82.94 is about 61.8% of the swing low. Yeah, right at that price. Yep. Right at about that level. So we'll get a little bit of a pause in there, but yeah, right on, man. Okay, so that's American Express. That's my thoughts going for the year. And again, the reason I'm doing a lot of the longer term perspectives is because, again, this video is going to be on YouTube live and public forever. If you guys ever get a chance to look at this, if you're watching this recording, we're far into the future, feel free to go back to the charts and just see how I did. Longer term, usually my analysis is pretty spot on. On a shorter term level, that's where I really get down to that 50-50 range. But on a long term, like give me a year or so, it's hard to be below 70%. But longer term, right, you can't trade everything, and I don't trade everything. So on a longer term level, there's no way you can be in all of it, right? So here's MasterCard and Visa. MasterCard, ticker symbol MA, approaching new all-time highs. And here's the deal. This is a tough one to trade, my friend. Here's a weekly chart. We made a new all-time high this week. I have no idea how to trade MasterCard other than wait until earnings and buy the pullback if we get it. It's a bullish trend, all-time high. There's no way that I'm buying there on that breakout, right? Who's doing that? Who's buying there? It's the highest it's ever been. Oh, this is finally the time to get in. Nope, 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 nope. Not this guy. Exactly, Mark. So let's see if this thing can pull back some to maybe about 105. Visa is very similar, folks. Again, I have no trade on MasterCard and Visa. These are tough to play right now. Back on the 6th, we said very bullish on the weekly, buy the dip. Buy the dip on the 6th. That doesn't seem like long ago. That seems like last week. In fact, we have dipped since then. So instead of us buying here at 82.13, we've pulled back an entire $1. Here's the weekly chart. And the weekly chart, we got the dip. Almost a tweezer top on the weekly. I kind of dig it, honestly. Again, this is more of a longer term level kind of a trade. I don't have anything short term. I don't have anything long term. I don't have anything on AXP at all. But this, somewhere in here is going to be your buying zone. This is the neckline for that double bottom. So if you're looking at playing at earnings not too far in the distant future, and again, just keep in mind, if you're sitting there and you're like looking at your account and you're like, Jeremy, there's no way I can buy all these stocks. You don't have to, right? Don't. That's totally okay. One person and only one person might be interested in Visa, and that's totally okay. So I'm going to look at it. But again, just keep in mind, I'm not suggesting that you put money into every stock we're going to look at today. Some of these stocks are requested. Most of them are requested. So figure out and feel free to just check out what makes you comfortable. So anyway, Visa, it did pull back to the 100, which is that blue line, that 80-90 price range. If you're looking at playing Visa, same way, kind of buy low, sell high. Let's go look at CNI. And CNI, Canadian National Railway Company. I had to look at this on a weekly chart. Oh my goodness, what a gigantically hideous but lovely at the same time inverted head and shoulders pattern. I mean, that is, ugh. But that's probably why it worked. Some good pullbacks to that 100 on the long-term level. I mean, this stock respects its long-term moving averages. Look at that. Look at that bounce, 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 bounce. The only time it didn't was right here, and that makes sense because it didn't right here. You know, that's the false breakout signal. If you get one, you're going to get another one somewhere soon, just to make sure everybody's trapped. So Canadian Pacific Railway, I mean, I'm looking at it, and again, a tough entry. a tough place to get in. Buy a pullback if you can get one. So let's see, on the daily charts, it's a very strong bullish trend, earnings right around the corner. There's just a lot of stocks that are high right now. It's kind of difficult to get value. So that's what I'm looking for anytime I'm trying to take a trade. This was the entry right here, but there was a lot of stocks that had a good entry on that day, which was last Tuesday. So that little move since then, I don't really have a setup other than, if you're looking at it, just buy the dip. If you're playing on the hourly a little bit more aggressively, let me know. I'm sure you know how to play it. Here's Valero, ticker symbol VLO. Valero Energy. Here's the weekly charts. And the reason, again, I'm looking at the weekly is just sometimes recently I'm having a hard time remember what the heck all these stocks are doing because they're just making some insanely strong moves. Valero, most certainly going to – I would want it to pull back more. Check this out on a weekly, guys. Here's what's important to remember. So let me turn off the moving averages. We've been up here before on Valero. That's what's a big takeaway. So we've been up here before and we've pulled back before. So I'd say really this $56 level would be brilliant. If it pulls back to 56.61, call it 57, which it really looks like is that double bottom. Mark's kind of calling it like an invert head and shoulders. But, yeah, whatever you see, something in that general vicinity. You do have, and guys, this is a beautiful example, my friends, a beautiful example of what a head and shoulders can do. I want everyone to know this because this is a very, very important statement. When you see a head and shoulders pattern or an inverted head and shoulders pattern, those are very, very strong patterns. Type in a 1 if you agree. They're incredibly strong patterns, but what a lot of people don't tell you is they do not have to cause a crash. When people see head and shoulders, they think this is going to happen. That's not the case, right? When you get a head and shoulders pattern, yeah, you're likely going to get a sell-off. You really will. The question just becomes how big. So this was a sell-off. It broke through, it retested, and it went down almost 20%. From 55 to almost 45. So that's a big deal. Something to always keep in mind. When you see head and shoulders patterns, remember that the economies are usually more bullish on a longer term scale. So don't always be looking for the world to crumble. And when you have a head and shoulders pattern, yeah, you can absolutely look to play it bearish, or you could just not. I mean, it works either way. But simply just keep in mind that the patterns do not mean that the stock has to go to zero. Okay, just because you get a head and shoulders, simple as that, doesn't mean the stock's going to go to zero. You can play it, just don't bet your life savings, that whole jazz, right? So anyway, head and shoulders, I'd like it to pull back to 57 if you're going to buy it. That's a buy low, sell high. GoPro, my boy Mickey, who's also over there in Australia. Mickey and Rick, Mikey and Ricky. Mikey is in bullish on GoPro. Mark says head and shoulders equals a future chance to buy low, sell high. I like it. That's beautiful. I have to agree. This was a trade setup that I did actually from the intermediate series at Real Life Trading. Intermediate series, if you hop over here to go to reallifetrading.com, click on classes, go down to intermediate trading. You'll find this exact trade setup that we're looking at right now in class 3, I believe. So, yeah, that's actually interesting that's – give me 6 seconds. I just noticed an error. I don't know why that is. Sorry to have a random pause in the webinar. Why can't I take a picture of that? Oh, well. I'll remind myself. Okay, anyway, so you go to class 2, class 3. Let me make sure these are the new classes. Nope. Weird. All right. That's really weird. Okay, so anyway, you'll find them. If you go there, they'll be there. GoPro, we set the trade up. So here's why. Weekly charts. Here's the weekly. And the weekly perspective on this one, it's at a buy low, sell high, right? Buy low, sell high, and that's really about it. If you're looking at playing GoPro, fundamentally, there's not a lot there. Technically speaking, it's at a great support if you're looking at trading it. Thomas says, is Morgan Stanley on the list today? Morgan Stanley, no, but I will put it over here. Looked at DE yesterday, Leon. Yes, longer term, it's a buy. I'll put it on the list for Thursday for you, and I'll put it on the list for today just in case we get a chance to look at it. So GoPro, buy the dip, buy low, sell high. JUNO Therapeutics. Let's see what JUNO is doing. Here is the daily charts. Daily charts. What is JUNO doing? Not much. You had a really decent gap right here, a strong break of support, a pretty nice double bottom here on JUNO, something like that. And we have closed above that neckline, and really this is the retest right here. I'm not going to take this trade personally. I'm not into therapeutic, pharmaceutical, biotech, that whole sphere. It's a volatile, a little too volatile for me, actually. I want to close above 2083 on JUNO. I think we will track that next week. Let's put down the list for Tuesday, and we'll see if we can get play it. I don't mind if it's in a shorter term trade. I might do it with options just because I can limit my risk easier. You know, if you get some weird drug announcement or whatever, like this right here, you know, you don't lose more than an R. I might do like an absolute zero call option or something, buy a few, and take it from there. Leon wants to look at Chevron and AIG. Yes, sir. I will put on the list. If we don't get a chance to look at them today, I'll put them on Tuesday's afternoon floor. Just as an FYI, I know I've said this once before, Monday the market is closed. Between now and Tuesday, Angie and myself will be sending you out brand new links to the trading room. So for those of you who enjoyed your free week, thank you so much. If you want to sign up, do so. It's cheaper than your cell phone bill more than likely, and you're going to get more of a return from it. So new links are going to be coming out next week before Tuesday morning, probably sometime Sunday or Monday. If you have any questions, let us know. But Angie will be standing by Tuesday morning, afternoonish for customer service, as well as myself, as well as Brad, as well as Latoya. So that's all I got. Darius says, you hating on Verizon? Always hating on Verizon, man. Mostly Sprint, though. I'm hating on Sprint more than anything. Sprint's my number one stock of hatred. Dollar Tree, ticker symbol DLTr. Let's go look at Dollar Tree, and I was keeping an eye on this one for this candle right here. Once that candle came in, I wanted a piece of it. But we can see it didn't really do anything since then. It's just doing whatever. A very, very interesting channel to keep your eyes on, my friends. Check this out. I'm going to draw it, and then we'll move on because you'll be able to see it. Anyone who's playing Dollar Tree, support zone, 74-ish. Resistance zone, resistance zone. There's your 3 lines for Dollar Tree. Play it accordingly. Feel free to take a screenshot. I'll leave it up for a few more seconds. Keep in mind, if it comes back down a second time, which it likely will, it probably will break that support zone. It won't bounce off of it perfectly, I don't imagine, but that'll be the place around 74-ish to look to get long on Dollar Tree. Next on the list, Sears, ticker symbol SHLD. Sears going bankrupt in our lifetime. Here's the daily chart, and I mean, pretty classic wave rotation. Classic. Broke the support, retested old support, new resistance, failed again. Weird, right, Darius? Nobody would have ever seen that coming. So weird that happened. A bunch of black candles breaking support and retesting. That occurs from a bunch of short traders buying to cover, and it also occurs from traders who want to get in at a discount, saying, "Oh, great, the stock is lower. Now I can buy to open cheaper than it has ever been recently." Derek says Sears is worse than Sprint. Yep, in our lifetime, Sears, Dillard's, Macy's, JCPenney, all going bankrupt. At least in my lifetime, I think there's a very good chance it's going to happen. Now, on the other flip side, what you have to keep in mind is I can't always be bearish on Sears. This could be a nice mark. I mean, you were thinking the same thing right now. Possible double bottom. It's got a long way to go. I will say this high wave candle from the other day does look interesting. Note to oneself, Sears is volatile and can move. It's not that best with options anymore. It once was, but I guess no longer. That's your little support zone right there, very short term. So really, if for anyone out there who's requesting Sears or is trading Sears, trade that high wave candle that we got yesterday, and kind of play that breakout because that's likely how it'll go. Okay, we already looked at Wells Fargo. AINV, what is that? AINV. What is AINV doing? Apollo Investment Corporation. Okay, so here's the daily chart. Pretty light volume. Earnings coming up in February. It looks like a channel. Yep. Can you turn it to channel 7? Actually looks kind of like a wedge, which you guys all know are not my favorite chart pattern. The only wedges I like have limes and Jack and Cokes. All right, so we got that, and we got the, no, that's not good. No, that's not a good one. That line? Really, we have 2. That line right there, that's also a price. Apollo Investment Group, AINV, you're at a strong resistance. There's a big chart pattern on this one. Very similar to Regions Financial, which I don't know if it's on the list today or not, but folks, I mean, any financial that you can see is a good buying opportunity, especially if it's a buy low, sell high, or it hasn't broken out yet. I mean, obviously do your technical analysis on it, but starting back in April, we realized that there was a lot of good financial opportunities out there. Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse, Barclays, HSBC, Mitsubishi Financial, American Express. There were a lot of financials that were really quite low, and it just seemed weird. This could be another one. I don't know anything about them fundamentally, but you can always research it if you requested it, and then you want to check that one out. BANC, ticker symbol BANC, Bank of California. So Bank of California, man, this thing has been moving. So this is also a daily chart, and wowie, wow, wow, wow. Volatile. See, this is one of those situations where when you get the head and shoulders pattern, right, and it actually starts moving, boom, and you get this candle, and you're like, oh, man, it's actually doing something, right? So that's the thing with the head and shoulders, you probably would have traded down to the target right there, exited, and then gotten back in right here on the retest and had a stop right there. Or, depending on how long you're in, now notice it pays dividends, so you probably bought puts. I doubt you shorted the stock, it pays dividends. You know, from there, you might have just bought some puts again on the breakout. So here's your weekly chart. And Bank of California, pretty volatile, this thing. I wouldn't have expected that. Very, very good support down here at $10. Right now, you got a pretty decent resistance at $6.15, but this looks like another financial that has a little bit of leg room left to go higher. You got some support resistance here at about 17 and some change. So this looks like a V bottom, my friends. V bottom. Yep. Something like this. Up to 30 bucks. It's going to take some time, of course, according to this drawing, until 2019. You know, so nothing worth doing is a quick thing. But there's Bank of California. Let's go look at silver and gold. Ticker symbol SLV. And I asked earlier this morning, I forget who asked me if they should hold their gold position or not. So I apologize if I didn't remember who asked that. But I'll look at gold also in just a few seconds. Silver, I'm always looking for a buy low opportunity on silver. Sorry, I had a sneeze attack. I wanted to buy silver at 1467. And you can all see what happened. Looking for a long play. Look at this. Brutal. And there was no put sale premium. I was 20 cents away. Nope. 18 cents away from buying SLV. So hopefully it'll come back down to that price. If it doesn't, no worries, whatever. But silver down here, I like silver long term. This is a great level for it. I don't think it's a short-term swing trade necessarily. The shortest swing trade I would look to expect on silver would be something like this. I could be mistaken about that, but really I think silver for 2017 is going to chop around down here, not do very much. Here's your weekly chart. Now, over the long haul, I expect silver to go higher. There's zero chance it doesn't. But with your weekly chart, I mean, we've been in this area before and chopped around, and we're doing that again. You have a glorious inverted head and shoulders pattern on silver. Boom, boom, boom. You got a different one. I can draw a few different inverted head and shoulders patterns, really depending on the time frame. So it's here. I like it. I'm not saying silver is going to go to $24 an ounce tomorrow. This is a long play, and by long, I mean like 3 to 5 years long. So I'm buying physical silver as more of an asset rather than an investment, meaning that I'm not looking to get rid of it by March or anything. So if SLV can trade up higher, awesome. But I like it longer term, keeping an eye on it. Put sales look good down here. Buying shares long-term look good down here. Owning some physical silver looks good down here. Silver's a buy low, sell high. Now, gold, I want to know where the gold's at. Show me the gold. Looks like a leprechaun to me. So ticker symbol GLD. Why is it not pulling up gold chart? Here it is. All right, so here's GLD. And just a few days ago, I had a trader, and again, in the morning room, I forget who it was. I think it was Monday. They said, hey, Newsom, I'm in calls expiring next week. Should I hold? And I said yes. Here's your exponential moving averages on gold. I really did feel like we would hit the 20 before, or the 58 EMA before anything else. We've hit that. This red line, I think, is a pretty important red line to consider. I think now it's time I can scoot this up. We're bouncing off the red line, which is a long-term trend line. Let me just kind of zoom out here and show you how many times I think we've hit this line on gold. I'm pretty sure I drew it correctly. There we go. So there's the long-term level. Exactly. Yep. So nice little level, good price. Interested to see what happens here on gold. At this price down here, I am more bullish than bearish on gold as well. Now, with the dollar going up, you could imagine that gold will go down a little bit. If this triangle breaks down on gold, this trend line, we are going lower. And $98, $900 an ounce will be our first stop. And then we shouldn't break that. But if we break that, gold's going to have a little bit more of a retracement. Because if the dollar gets stronger and equities get stronger and Trump, doesn't do what some people think he might, then people are like, oh, it wasn't that bad. My house hasn't blown up yet. And so gold might go down in value because people are just going to feel more comfortable about the economy. So remember, I've been mentioning, I think that could very well happen in the Trump presidency. And I'm not saying that in a political way. I'm just saying that from a macro viewpoint. It makes a lot of sense. The only time bearish markets, recessions, or depressions happen sociologically and economically is when everyone feels like it's okay, right? If there's a lot of doubters out there and there's a lot of people questioning the world, the government, and money, and the markets, and the equity, I mean, there's always going to be some. I'm talking like on a broader scale. It's not until everyone's at the party and everyone's brought all their chips and dip. And now everyone's here and there's too many people in the house and the fire marshal comes and gives you a ticket and says, hey, Jeremy, you can't have this many people in your house. It's 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. When that happens, that's when you know, oh, wait, something's going down, right? But if you're the first of the party and you're the only person eating chips, there's going to be more people coming. If you throw a party and you're the only person there, invite me next time. Dylan says, personal experience? No, I've never had the cops called on my parties, dude. No way. No. Cops? Come on, man. Me? First name basis, dude. First name basis. All right. That's gold. That's silver. Here's Goldman Sachs. Speaking of gold. Marcus Clinton said he didn't inhale too. That's the thing, man. Someone asked me, I was like, hey, Newsom, you ever going to run for president? And they were joking, obviously, because, there's no way I could ever run for president. I would never make it past the review board. Jeremy, have you ever smoked weed? What kind of question? What? Get out of here. I've never smoked weed before. Be quiet. I didn't inhale, though. What? Come on. I was like, have you ever had milk that was like 2 or 3 days old? Just because you didn't want to go buy more and you thought you were going to take the gamble anyway? I mean, don't be ridiculous. It doesn't matter if I smoked weed when I was 23, if I can run if I can be a presidency in my 70s. Like, that's stupid. 23. Get out of here. All right, so that's Goldman Sachs. It's at an all-time high. This is a big deal, folks. Huge deal. Goldman Sachs is at its previous all-time high. Linderman said, you remember this was recorded? Yeah, it's okay, man. It's all right. Technically, I didn't admit to anything, so, here's your resistance. This is going to be a big resistance zone. Big resistance zone. So this is look at this, guys. Really? Look at this trend. This is a stronger trend than before 2007. That's something that's very interesting to note, but it's true. That's a more straight up angle. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying things brewing yet. I'm just saying that we're at a huge resistance. I would not be buying up here, at least not buying calls. Be patient. If you want to get in bullish, you should probably wait for one of two things, either A or B. Those are kind of the two things that I would wait for. All right, perfect. So that's what I have on Goldman Sachs. Next up, Neil's also had a put sale. Oh, shoot. Where's your put sale, Neil? I think yours expired worthless. Yeah, I don't know if it will stay or not. I don't know if you're here. Either way, Neil's had a put sale at some point and expired worthless. Good job, Neil's. Looks fine. BMY had a few traders. Mikey from Australia played BMY today for a decent little bearish day trade opportunity. Here's the daily charts. Let me get that pulled up. Why isn't that loading? So Darren, I believe, is still in 56, 55, or 56, 54 bull put spread on BMY. Here's the hourly chart, and you're pulling back down to a support. So as long as this doesn't break Tuesday, you should be able to exit sometime Tuesday or Wednesday for a small loss, which I think is probably not best case scenario, but that's what I'm hoping for. You do have a small inside day candle. So BMY, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on it on Tuesday. Here's your long-term moving averages. Depending on how it opens, I'm going to go ahead and write it down. Tuesday morning could be fun, just depending on if it gaps at all, right? The stocks I was looking at yesterday based on the gap, nothing, didn't do anything. Bob had a ACAD put sale And Bob's put sale did expire. Did I have my drawings turned off? No, I don't have my drawings turned off. So Bob, there we go. Had a $29.50 put sale that expired today. The stock closed at $31.77. So Bob, your put sale expired worthless again on ACAD. I know you were talking about that. Yep, there it is. Bob. Okay, he's talking to J-Rock. Got it. Agreed, Bob. All right, so that is ACAD. I'm mostly just looking at that one for Bob. He had a put sale, expired worthless. High five, brother man. Well done. Expedia. The reason I'm looking at Expedia today, we had a swing trade. Remember this one? Had a swing trade on Expedia, and we did get triggered today on that swing trade. We closed right on top of the 100 simple moving average. Agreed, there's a little bit of an upper shadow. And by a little bit, I mean there's definitely an upper shadow. I like the gap. Our stop on the trade is in this gap, and I plan on being in this trade about 30 days. So I don't know why the stop is not showing up, but it's definitely there. It'll probably load in a second. But earnings is about a month away or so. We got plenty of time. In on Expedia. We're also in on BERY Plastic. So these are the two swing trades that we got triggered in during the free enrichment week. So if you want to continue to track these with us and see how they play out with us and move your stops and your targets and all that kind of good stuff, stay with us. We're going to be here all of next week, Monday through Friday. Amazon, take some AMZN. Throw your hands in the air like you just don't care. Type in a 7 if you've been wrecking Amazon the last 2 or 3 days. I've been really happy about the analysis on Amazon. I'm pretty proud. Oops, that's a 7-minute chart. I tried typing a 7 into the chat pane. Here you go. Oh, I didn't do it again. Oh, geez. Oh, man, the computer's freezing. Hold on. I'm about to break it. All right, I'll just stick with this. Nope, can't do it. All right, won't let me do it. Weird. Give me like 6 seconds. TradingView's having a conniption fit. I haven't used the term conniption fit in a while. Anyway, this was the trade setup that we had, Tuesday? Tech Giant Tuesday. Wednesday, beautiful candle. Yesterday, triggering. Today, moving higher. This gap's likely going to fill. Obviously, didn't pull out to 77730, so didn't pull back down to there. Back on the 10th of January, said, hey, look to buy the dip or a breakout. The breakout was yesterday on Amazon. I'm going to try to hold this one for as long as I can. We'll see what happens on Tuesday. Here's the hourly chart. Agreed, it's a little bearish. Had a really beautiful move today. So I'm going to let Tuesday do its thing. I'm going to look at Tech Giant Tuesday, so next week, and I'll come up with a target on it. I'm hoping that make a little bit of gain. But my good buddy Deepak made 11 Rs on Amazon between today and yesterday. Just a highly aggressive option trader. Congratulations, Deepak. Great trade. 11 Rs on one trade alone. It's amazing. AAOi, almost day trade this one today, bearish, and it would have worked if it would have triggered me in. We looked at this yesterday. Based on how quickly it's already selling off, I can almost pretty much guess that it's going to pull back lower. So yesterday I had a limit buy at 27.74. The low of today, 27.82. So mathematically, 8 cents away from getting triggered in on AAOi. So with this big bearish candle, you can almost just guarantee that you're probably going to get a little bit more of a pullback. So you can kind of drop these. And let me just kind of copy and paste this update in here, only because there was a lot of people asking about AAOi as of yesterday, which is okay, right? It was a very nice gap. Great bullish gap. You just knew it was going to retest with that size candle. And that candle is huge. So even if it doesn't retest, it's not like you want to play that because the risk reward's, shattered. All right, let me open this. How one could play AAOi. Applied something. Another update to entry based on today's candle. Okay, there we go. Also, a few traders in on eBay, EBAY. Didn't really do much today. A little bit of a bullish candle. I needed to pop more on Tuesday. And if it doesn't, then I'll be looking to get out on eBay. I already did Amazon. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the other ones. So I got Facebook. Facebook today, huge move. Shout outs to Mike and Amy and Matt DeLong who trade Facebook profitably today. Incredible, incredible stuff. You got a great little retest of the 100 simple moving average. That was the retest. You got 1 day worth of a retest. Wednesday continued. Yesterday continued. Today continued. Facebook going wild. So on earnings, I'm going to talk about on Tuesday, but I'm probably going to look to sell a put over earnings right here. Probably get 30 cents or something. Amy said, didn't get a chance to get online at work today. My broker until market close Friday the 13th. As a nurse, it's brutal to not get out today. No worries. Hey, maybe that's a good thing. I know you got expiration, but that's all right. I hope it works out even better for you. Maybe we'll gap up to 149 Tuesday morning. I hope so for you. But either way, here's what I'm hoping happens for a swing trade level. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get in bullish on Facebook longer term, that's what I'm waiting for. I like Facebook. Everyone here uses Facebook, probably, most of you. If you do have a Facebook, make sure to find me, send me a friend request, or like our Real Life Trading Facebook page. But looking for a pullback there. I'll likely sell some puts Tuesday over earnings on Facebook. David said, I had to send documents regarding Facebook securities in 2012 IPO opening glitch. Oh, really? Wow. That's a cool story, man. Yeah, IPO, dude, Facebook, that was a huge one. I remember exactly where I was at when it IPO'd. I was in my office in Nationwide, and my manager bought $20,000 of stock, even though I told her not to. What do I know? I was just trading all day, every day at the time. Credit Suisse, nice little gap up. This is another stock that we liked a lot in April. We're at a resistance on ticker symbol CS. Big inverted head and shoulders. Yep, I think it's a large one. I would love for this to happen on Credit Suisse. That would be free money, I feel like. Second thing is this at 1590, and that's pretty much it. One of those two things. So Credit Suisse, ladies and gentlemen, on a longer term level, ready to break out. You've remembered me, and I'm sure you've heard me say that this looks like an inverted head and shoulders pattern. It still does. We also talked about the fact that Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank were not going to go under. They cannot let that happen. That was going to if it did happen, that's bigger than the Lehman Brothers by far. Like, it's not even close. The difference between Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, and the Lehman Brothers, like, that's, yeah, it's not even on the same realm. So if DB goes under, big issue, right? So Deutsche Bank, also inverted head and shoulders, also a very cheap stock, also a buy low, sell high opportunity for the long-term run. FCX, here is free ticker symbol FCX, recovered very nicely today, only down 0.5%, which is kind of shocking. Jesse got very, very close to his target yesterday until it decided to reverse on him, which is always rough. So this is the weekly chart on FCX. Long term, I do like it a lot in the $12, $13 area. The $12.50 put sale should expire worthless on FCX. I like it long term down here, bottom line. So I'll probably, if this put sale expires worthless, which I expect it to, I'll likely do another one at $12 for February because I'd like to buy at 12, buy low, sell high, right? Get paid to be patient. That's my thoughts on FCX. If you are still in the trade, Jesse, easiest place in the world to have your stop below the low of today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an immaculate and incredible week, Enrichment Week. I hope to see you all back here next week. Tuesday, we're going to start rocking and rolling and making magic happen. Here's some stocks that we're going to be looking at on Tuesday. Let's put in Amazon, Apple, obviously Netflix, Facebook, BABA, PayPal. Anything else that I'm missing that you want to look at on Tuesday? For anyone who has any questions about anything, feel free to email me. Micron Technology, got it. Micron, done. CLF, got it. David says, thanks for everything, Jeremy, and the free week. My pleasure, man. You're absolutely welcome. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell the world about real life trading. Our mission is here to enrich lives. Wendell says, thanks again. Good job. Peace. See you, buddy. Take care, man. Ms. Francois says, thank you, Jeremy. My pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an amazing week. I would never do this week unless it was for you beautiful people. That was it was a brutal, brutal week. I mean that in the most sincere way. I've never seen more sunrises and sunsets in 1 week than this week in my whole life. So I appreciate your guys' energy. Thanks for bringing it this week. You guys brought it. That's what I asked to do. You did it. I truly hope to continue trading with you starting next week on Tuesday in either the afternoon room, the morning room, the weekly options, or all of it for less than my Sprint cell phone bill. Ladies and gentlemen, you rock. Until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.